I need help. I knew it was broken. I mean, I heard the noise. The OneWheel story. Well, I have a unicycle OneWheel. That's the tires in line. It goes much faster than your regular skateboard style sideways OneWheel. Mine does about 34 miles an hour. I've got a lot of time on it, a lot of single track time. So Jason Sneed and I and Mike, we go up into the mountains and take motorcycle trails and small jumps, not the stuff you see on YouTube. Small jumps that make old men feel young, right? And gotten pretty good with that. I mean, we could really get it up in the dirt and gravel and little snow patches. And so when I was at the Reno Air Races, Trent Palmer's like, you want to use my OneWheel? And I'm like, I've never ridden one of these ever, but I have the unicycle type. So I think I'll pick up on it quick. And I did. And that's probably the problem, right? Because if something comes easy, then you don't respect it, right? Anything you have to work for, you'll respect. If it comes easy, it's just like money, right? People that money came easy to them, they're going to lose it quick. If they had to really, really work for it, they might end up being a miser, right? Because they respect it so much they can't even spend it. You try to find the balance. Well, the OneWheel came easy. I was having a great time. I had no idea they only do, like, the one I was on was the Pint, and I want to say 14 miles an hour. I could be wrong. I don't know exactly, but I want to say it's 14 miles an hour is top speed. Well, that's like 20 miles an hour slower than my unicycle type OneWheel. So when the kid comes up and says, you want to race? I'm like, sure, I'm feeling pretty good on it. And this kid's kind of just a fun kid, and we're out there in the desert just having fun. And so I start leaning into it, and I'm expecting to double my speed before it cuts out, because they all turn off when they hit their speed limit. They try to push back and throw you. Well, my unicycle has a beep warning. If you start leaning too forward, it goes beep, 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 and then it beeps faster, and then it tries to lean back. So now I'm on this thing expecting a beep before it's going to shut off, and I feel a little bit of kickback, but it didn't register because it wasn't very strong, and there was no beep, and I kept leaning, and it shut off. And so when it dug in from a physical standpoint, from an ego standpoint, I was so embarrassed. Like, everybody's around. I just crashed on a little kid's toy thing, and I'm dang near 50 just 2 days ago, incidentally. So, but it was embarrassing. But when the wheel dug in, you're on grip tape, and I'm standing right foot forward, and so the machine stopped immediately. So it tore the ligaments in my right knee. And as I'm going down quick, I put out my right arm. I tore all the ligaments in my right arm. It's still in bad shape. This is now 10 months later. Of course, when I hit the ground, it broke my femur right up at the ball joint, right up in the hip. And it was 9 months of course, it was surgery and pins, and 9 months of recovery on that hip. And so I just got off a cane just a month ago. It stopped the whole build on my Cub ambush, because I couldn't walk in a hangar and pick up parts and handle tools because you couldn't stand on 2 feet. So my airplane, that was the worst part about it. The ego bump, as I'm laying in the dirt, and they're like, are you okay? You okay? That was a bad thud. And I'm like, no, I'm good. And when I tried to put my left hand hit the ground. I tried to catch here, and it hit. And then when I hit hard, I slapped like that. So I tore ligaments in my left wrist as well. And so when I tried to get up, my left wrist couldn't take any pressure. So I kind of rolled over and tried to put weight on my right shoulder to stand up, and that couldn't take any pressure. So I kind of hobbled up, I think, left leg, and I tried to put weight on my right leg and collapsed. And I'm just like, guys, I need help. I knew it was broken. I mean, I heard the noise. And when I tried to put any weight on it, I saw the tunnel vision, and I've broken enough bones. I mean, I was like, oh man. So yeah, that was a OneWheel crash. Old men trying to do young men things and not understanding or respecting the product I was riding on. It's probably like getting in an airplane you'd never flown and not pulling out the POH. It was just stupid. I'm an idiot. So yeah, I busted up pretty good. I have not gotten back on the unicycle, and I don't know that I will. I bought some nice scooters with 2 wheels, because if you go faster than they can go, they just coast, they don't chuck you off. But the unicycle, my orthopedic surgeon, when he told me it was going to be 9 to 12 month recovery on the bone, I'm like, I've broken lots of bones. You mean like 6 to 8 weeks, but it might hurt for a while. He goes, no, you won't be putting weight on this for 6 to 8 months, and then you'll maybe get a cane if it's healing. And I'm like, how can it be this serious? He says, well, it's the nature of the bone. He says, but don't complain about 9 to 12 month recovery. He says like 63% of my business is one-wheel crashes. And I'm like, well, that can't be right. And I don't know if that's a real number, right? I don't know if he's just making a point. But he says one-wheel crashes for us, it's usually broken neck, broken back, it's paralyzation, it's permanent life change. He says you tore some ligaments in your shoulder, your wrist, your knee, and broke a hip. No big deal. You got off lucky. And I'm like, so I'm still like those words. If the recovery came easy, I probably wouldn't have respected them. Like anything, if it comes easy, you won't respect it. But if the recovery had come easy, I probably would have already been back on those machines. But since it took so long before I could actually stand in my hangar and pick up a box of tools or do anything, I'm not on it. I'll race airplanes and fly Cubs into the backcountry and take Pilateses over the treetops into short strips, but I'm not going to do anything dangerous like ride a one-wheel. I don't want to die. So.